I think you were just trying to keep Wolf company, weren't you?
Yeah, you know.
He had the soul vote yesterday.
Yeah, that must be it. I don't know. Maybe subconsciously.
Yeah. Just working on the caster synergy. I like it. I'm going to go through some bans. Samira, Gragas, and Pantheon all banned away by Gen G. And the Renekton and Set taken away by Fredit Brion. As Life Set, I think, deserves to be permabanned. He hasn't lost. He's played 9 games of the champion this year and last year. And yeah, he's undefeated, so I definitely give that one a good old ban. And Kai'Sa also going to head to the ban list as well, as we have every jungler, apart from Pantheon, available. We have the Akali still available, and the Talia is where Clid wants to go. He, of course, played it in their debut game, and did pretty well on the pick as well. Is Umti going to go back to his Nidalee, and we'll see whether the spears are going to be ringing true this time around.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, the Nidalee didn't end up doing too much in that last game. Obviously, didn't have much of an opportunity after he wasn't on the top side to help out with the dive. And pretty interesting, you know, they're just going to go for it once again. They say, okay, well, the Nidalee was not the issue. But they do give up the Talia, so a bit of a interesting matchup here. I think Clid should be pretty happy with that one. Now, you see the Aphelios, and I wonder if Gen G are like, should we just take the Thresh away? But, you know, Thresh, not necessarily a huge priority pick, unless it is alongside the Aphelios, but we'll have to wait and see. Note that Akali, not banned, not picked again here in this game. And I'm wondering if, like, we just weren't told about a global ban or something, or if, like, or if just the teams have really moved that far away from this pick.
Well, I was actually going to talk about the Camille. I thought that Nidalee Camille would have been a decent red side first round, but not going to be picked up in favor of the Aphelios and giving Henna the best possible bottom lane for himself. But that's going to be snapped away here by Rascal. And honestly, Gen G could just lock away Camille Galio right here and just flex it. But instead, they want to give Ruler a chance to get a more top-tier AD carry, and they will grab that one. Otherwise, it would have most definitely been a continuation of that in the ban list. As this is a trap, guys. We know this is a trap. It's a trap.
Naur, I think, is 1-5, 1-6 so far. Obviously, I think in the LPL, I think it's 8-0 right now. So, you know, stats don't tell the whole story, but based on what we've seen, it hasn't had too much success here. So we'll see if Hoya can try to get some luck against the Camille, a very common pick to try to play safe in the lane against the Camille, and then have some late game team fight priority. But, you know, on paper, it doesn't always work out in the games the way you want it to.
Yeah, I have a feeling Gen G should probably ban away the Thresh here. The Galio, great ban. I do like taking that one away from either B2D or Life. Although you don't see the Galio alongside the Jhin that often. Take their time, but there is the Thresh ban that we were asking for. And I'd probably stick to supports here if I was on Bro's side, and then take the best of what's left.
Yeah. If you're Gen G, I don't know if you want to ban away a mid laner, because you could have that taken away, but obviously Fredit Brion is going to take away some of the, you know, the 2 global mid laners that you would see with the Camille that we've seen have so much success, right? The TF and the Camille, the Galio and the Camille that you mentioned, those seem like 2 very solid bans for Bro here in this one. But what is Gen G going to go for? Are they going to ban like another support like an Alistar, or do they want to chop down more on the mid lane pool? And it is in fact going to be that Yone.
Yeah, Yone going to be removed. I like that, actually. If you see a Nidalee, I mean, it could have been played by B2D as well, but not wanting to give Fredit Brion an opportunity there. The Akali could come out alongside the Talia, assuming Clid can be landing his flicks well. But you know, having the damage portfolio in mid-jungle be pure magic is not exactly the favorite thing. Lava doesn't mind about it, though. He's going to pick up his Zoe once again, and now we'll see what Gen G are going to do to round out their roster.
I think he wants something with some decent CC, something that can combo very well with the Talia. Obviously, the Seismic Shove is a very powerful ability, but you want something to help it, you know, combo with it to get that initial stun. We're looking at Seraphine. We saw this yesterday for Lehens, and obviously that's a very oppressive lane, the Jhin Seraphine, but they're just not going to go for it. They're going to pick up the Orianna first, and then consider what Life is going to play.
Whoa, was that Zaya or Rakan? That's cheating.
Interesting.
That's not fair. I really like the Maokai. Not going to be coming out. Top and damage, left, right, and center by choosing items that very much confuse the damage system in the game. Nautilus, though, is going to be the pick, and Rel comes out once again. The lady that wears her horse. I like it. And that's going to be the choice instead of the Thresh that we've seen every single time alongside the Aphelios. Not going to be keeping him as safe position-wise, but can at least augment his stats a little bit with that magnetization.
Yeah, pretty interesting pick. We haven't seen too much success for the Rel so far, but we haven't seen her all that often on top of that. So interested to see how this lane is going to go. The Afrel lane, if you will. BDD on the...
Aphelios?
Yeah, Aphelios. Just get Achilles in there as well. Orianna against Zoe. That's a very standard matchup there. BDD just picking up the control mages in the mid lane to go up against Lava Zoe. I wonder if, if Lava keeps playing Zoe, if maybe he'll see some bans in the future against that pick, but so far he's been allowed to play it a couple times in a row, as Umti has been able to on the Nidalee. But this is scary, I think, if you are a Fred Brion fan. I mean, you're going up against Camille for Rascal, and just that alone is scary, alongside of giving away Talia to the side of Clid. So that is a very scary top jungle duo that they are going to have to handle in this game.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried. There's a lot of question marks on the Fred Brion roster, whether it be about the team themselves or about just the champion picks and what they've been able to achieve. But Rel has surprised us so far, and as we get onto the rift for game number 2, we'll have to see whether she continues to be okay. As I got a bit of the hiccups, Valdez.
Oh no.
If I have a hiccup in the middle of a team fight, if you could please take over,
Sure.
that would be fantastic.
That's the power of the Valdanalist.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta flex it up.
You can roll swap at any
be...
moment. You want a lane swap? I'll go into the play-by-play lane. You can swing back in the analysis role. We haven't had the Atlanalyst too much.
That's because the Valdanalist just sounds so much better.
True, yeah.
So Atlanalyst is just like wow, 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 wow. It's just it's frustrating.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
That's definitely the main reason. There are definitely a couple of people in the chat that are like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah. There's a lot of savants that we know in the collective, as we've come to learn over the many years of LCK. Going into how this one is going to pan out, early stages of this game, I'm looking forward to seeing where our junglers are going to go. But I think eyes are going to be largely glued towards the top side to see whether Hoya can create some advantages up against Rascal, because Rascal is 100% a ticking time bomb on this one, as Crashdown comes through from Delight, but isn't actually able to find Ruler despite a bit of decent poke damage that's come out from Henna.
Yeah, trying to take that trade early. You can, trying to get priority down here on the bottom side, but at the end of the day, Delight did hop pretty far forward, and Ruler on this level 1 Jhin, not going to be too strong just yet, but it seems like they have been able to keep up in terms of pushing, trying to hit level 2 first, of course, by autoing all these minions. And it looks like Delight and Henna are just kind of going to give the floor over to Ruler and Life to hit level 2 first.
Yeah, they're going to be able to grab this one pretty comfortably. Full control here of the wave. As not going to miss out on any experience because no minions are going to die before it is pushed towards that turret. So defensive positioning here from Fred Brion so far. As Clid's going to take some popcorn chickens and chow down for a little bit.
Yeah, that was a pretty...
And head towards his bottom side.
Pretty cute look from Rascal. He pushes in the top wave. He just waltzes on into the Krugs, and he says, yes, Nidalee has, in fact, started red side. The top side, the red buff side of the jungle. And, it's just a little thing, but it gives a good amount of information just to make 100% sure that they know exactly where Umti should be on the map. And, just to time it out as to when the bottom lane should play a little bit more carefully and maybe Clid can come in here and get some vision. He's going to try to come in and take the Scuttle Crab, at least. And this does open up the chance to go for double Scuttle here for Clid if he does want to.
Yeah, it's looking like a double Scuttle game. I was actually going to mention that. The information given by the Krugs means that Clid knows that if he gets towards that Scuttle on spawn, he can either fight away from it, or just grab that one for himself, and understands that he can just book it towards this top side, knowing that he's not actually trading at the time. So really, really cool stuff. I'm glad you brought that one up to make sure that, you know, we're understanding just how valuable these little snippets of information are. As Umti, he's not going to go for the Scuttler. He's going for a bit of a gank here onto Rascal, who's a fair way up this lane. Clid is going to be here, though. Now Hoya slightly out of position. Big burst damage comes down, and the pebbles aren't going to hit as Umti misses the spear. And Clid's going to be able to get out. Surfing on some rocks. Doesn't do it so fast, but is still able to get out of there. Flash forward here from the Rel. Crashes down onto Ruler, and first blood going to the Aphelios. Life has to flash away. Dredgeline will get him to safety, but the damage has been done.
Yeah, and, you know, that's part of the power of the Rel. We saw that big kind of wombo combo Rel combo there, and very nicely done. It looks like Ruler just not really respecting that, and he gets caught off guard and just totally bursts down from 100 to 0. So we'll see exactly, you know, his positioning and how he kind of got himself into that situation in the replay. But that's a really nice move there for the side of Fred Brion. They really needed to get ahead down in the bottom side, and that's going to be just one more step in the right direction.
I like it a lot, and I think Henna played a decent game last time around as well, despite the result. So looking forward to seeing what they can do with an advantage like this. Is just no chill at all coming out from Delight as he just dives on top of him with his flash.
Yeah, Delight very aggressive on the Rel pick. Gets in, gets the initial stun, hops up, gets another one. And see you later to your life. You're a level 3 Jhin. You're about as squishy as they come. So a pretty straightforward kill there, and a nice setup from Delight. As the lookalike is what they were saying actually in the video, that Ruler and Delight kind of look like each other. He's taking revenge.
I don't really see it.
Yeah.
I don't really see it personally, but that's okay. It seemed to be agreed upon with a lot of the players, so I guess that's fine. That's the main thing.
You know, they like to have fun with that and joke around about who looks like who and all that good stuff. So.
Yep. Clid and BDD, definitely the most famous of the doppelgangers here in the LCK.
What? Did you just teleport back to 2015?
Whoa! Well, I just teleported Clid back to like 2018 or something like that.
I meant Atlas teleport.
No, I know. That's a long way in the past. As Clid, speaking of which, he's towards the bottom side, looking to try and sneak his way into some alcoves. But you can see the jig is a little bit up, as Fred and Brion are just going to back away. Ooh, crash down timing could be coming through here for Delight. We know that he really likes it.
A flash. Oh, but the Dredgeline does miss. And okay, sniped out his Clid. See you later, buddy.
Oh, no. Yeah, cheeky Q. That's going to do it. And we were talking about jigs being up, and it most definitely was. So Clid back to farming. He's going to have a look at this dragon, watered it by both teams, though, as now Clid looking for that seismic shove. Dredgeline, max range is going to connect. But Henna just going to use his heal just to help get Delight out of the way, and they're not able to actually lock down that kill. Seismic shove going a little bit awry.
Pretty nice buffer to just hop away there. It looks like the Deadly Flourish maybe a millisecond late, so not able to, you know, chain the CCs together to make sure that the seismic shove does land. And that's going to be just overall more value. You know, you're keeping the enemy jungler down on the bottom side. You're getting away alive without using any summoners, as he did not have his flash and did not have to use that at all. This top lane we haven't been talking about too much, just because it's been, you know, pretty straightforward, pretty even there. Rascal is 21 gold ahead, so I guess now it's 0. Literally 0 gold ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not too bad. Bottom side of the map, biggest lead here as Henna is about 400 in the lead. As there's the flash stun. X-Deck ultimatum comes on in, and Hoya's dead. No seismic shove required. Clid was just there basically for moral support.
Yeah, really nice bait from Rascal. I don't know if that was 100% on purpose, as it did actually look like he was running away. But, you know, he looks like he's going to hookshot away, but then he hops back with the flash stun. And, of course, Talia, if you can lock someone down, Talia is going to love you as a laner. And was able to get a ton of damage down. But now they're fighting over this.
Yep, another dredge line will come through here as BDD is sitting on the shockwave. Is going to use it just on Lava there to pull him back out, and the flash needs to be used, but it's not going to be enough to keep him alive. Rascal gets yet another kill, and we're almost over 1,000 gold in the lead as a result for Gen G. They'll grab themselves a Rift Herald. They're going to give all the plates over to Ruler, as they love to do, and this is looking like it's getting back on track to a similar game to Game 1. So we have a look at this play once again.
Yeah, the game blown wide open in this one, and as I was saying, you know, you just lock someone down. Talia's going to do a ton of damage. Doesn't even need to land the seismic shove. As Delight gets hopped in there from Clid, seismic shove once again, and then Lava just getting passived down by the Nautilus so that the damage can chain through. Nice little shockwave, great saving, great timing by BDD to wait for that moment to look for the extra kill. Could have used it early and tried to just burst down Delight, but I think he did the right thing, as they were able to net themselves 2 kills, the Rift Heralds on top of everything, and 2 of those kills went to Rascal as well overall. So, you know, already this top lane not looking like too much fun for Hoya once again.
Yeah. I just love how good Rascal's become. You know, if you remember back to his days on DRX quite a while ago, he always had such potential, but he did seem like he was a bit green. And the way he's developed into this really intelligent but still mechanically gifted player is really beautiful to see. And it's just great that he's now showing his true colors here, looking like, at least at the moment, the best performing top laner that we have. Not that we've seen everyone just yet. Of course, Khan will be re-debuting in our second match, and he's going to be a player that we're going to have our eyes on.
Yeah, Rascal, I was once asked, I think, the beginning of last year, who's the most underrated player. I went on the Korean, I think it was Sunday night LCK, that show, and they
Yeah, I
asked
remember
me,
that. Yeah.
who do you think is the most underrated player? And I said Rascal, and they were like, oh, really interesting. But yeah, the guy's got talent. He's really, really good. As I say that, he's getting beat down right now.
Yeah, we are caster cursing him real hard as he goes back in. Hextech ultimatum to try and avoid some damage, but that's just a solo kill, guys. I have a feeling it's going to be traded back here as Clid is going to turn up. Umti is in position, command protect, and now the shockwave comes through. Hoya tries to flash out of the way, but it was just kind of on the spot. And it didn't really work at all, and that is going to be the top laner dead. So, we did cast a curse Rascal,
Yeah,
but,
did.
you know, he gets an assist.
Yeah.
It's all right.
That was one of the most blatant caster curses we've had in a while. I mean, we're just like talking him up as he's getting run down the lane by the Gnar. But at the end of the day, the team play from Gen G, just one step ahead of Fred Breon once again.
Oh, don't be saying Freon, dude. That's not good. Yeah. That's not good.
Reddit Breon.
Yeah, definitely can't be given Twitch chat any extra ammunition, I don't think. That's just, that's not a good idea.
I wasn't going to mention it, but, you know, it just came out. And this is going to be, you know, this is just going to be a free turret up on the top side, essentially. 201 BDD. He gets the gold from that first blood turret. And they are just both massively ahead. As here we go again.
Oh, yeah, another crash down here from Delight as Life taking a fair bit of damage. Ruler does get out of the front line as Rascal's going to teleport in, but that's 1 versus 3. The Nautilus will fall down though, but Orianna comes through as well. BDD mops up the Aphelios as Rascal so low, but still dancing around the fight.
How does he
He's going to keep himself alive, hiding in the alcove. I thought he was burning to death, but nope. He's just going to come on through, and that's how the top lane was supposed to go, ladies and gentlemen. As we have a look at it once again, just have to remind ourselves of the caster cursing that we did manage to get down. He had an opportunity to escape, but no, he wanted to get him.
You know, he had his teammates coming up, and, okay, well, we're not going to look at the rest of that, but basically he could have run, but he would have just got boomeranged, so he tried to help out his teammates get the kills. Down here, Umti, take a look on the left. Sweet little spear comes in there, and all the teleports are just raining down from the sky this time around. And Rascal, once again, a fantastic play. Doesn't just try to run away. Look at that one minion range shot comes in and still doesn't take him down. Must have been on very low health at the end of that fight. But, you know, he understands that sometimes it's better to just hop back into the play and try to get as much damage done as possible. Maybe you help your team out. Maybe you actually survive because you just kill the enemy champion that quickly. And that's exactly what happened there in that play. So props to Rascal once again.
Yep, playing very, very well. I feel like our silent achiever on the side of Gen G, although not very silent, is in fact BDD, sitting there at like 1.3k ahead of like everyone else.
Like 4-0
and 4-0-3. Yeah, he's pretty big, Valdez, and he's just been everywhere, being able to augment the rest of his team, understanding that positioning is key to victory, and it 100% is. He's ahead by 30 CS as well, maybe a little bit under that as Lava tidies up that wave, but he's just had control this entire game, and a stable mid lane does certainly help so much, especially when you're up against the Zoe. So 4,000 gold in the lead, very, very close, and Gen G waiting, you know, another 3.5 minutes before the next Drake comes up. We'll see whether it's going to be a Cloud or an Infernal Soul. But so far, it's just business as usual here for these guys.
BDD missed the cannon.
Not a bad one. Oh dear.
Why did it have to be like this? He's having such a great game, and he's actually just straight up, you know, 1v1ing here in the mid lane and taking down this turret bit by bit, and having quite the game himself. And yeah, he's already completed that item. Very far ahead of the curve. He has the stopwatch ready to go, and basically any dragon fight is going to be heavily favorite to the side of Gen G. So I wonder what Pro are going to do. I'm sure they're going to be hoping for a Cloud Soul and that they don't have to fight over Infernals because, you know, while that might make the game end sooner, I think they kind of want to avoid the fighting as much as possible right now.
Absolutely. That being said, I don't know whether things necessarily get better for Fred Brion either as the game goes on. You know, Camille tends to do just ridiculous things after a few items come in. Already, Trinity Force is now done. We'll see where he goes as item number 2. Most likely, Ravenous Hydra will be coming in. As now Ruler finds himself with a few friends in the area. As Life is going to face check. Delight now looking for him. Umti running pretty quick now as Henna underneath this turret. He's going to try and take this one down, and now Ruler realizes that he's out of position. Life trying to get in there as Gale Force is going to get him a little bit out of the way. Magnet Storm trying to work out there for Delight, but now Ruler gets underneath the turret. Life is going to fall, though, and the Curtain Call not even going to be employed, as Ruler's just going to go home, or at least stay out of trouble.
Yeah, Life doing the right thing. You know, he kind of had to get in there just to make sure that Ruler could stay alive, continue getting this farm, and that the wave doesn't get pushed in if he does go down. So he kind of sacrificed his life for Ruler. He's down 4 levels on Ruler, and also Gen G at the same time. They did get the Rift Herald. You can see that on the minimap right now. As the hop in there from Delight doesn't quite land, and you can see that Life has to step in front of the Aphelios ultimate just to make sure. And that does mean that Ruler stays alive. At the end of the day, Bro do get the turret and the kill, but they also lost the Rift Herald tier. So, not the end of the day for Gen G by any means.
Nope, not a big deal. And also, mid outer turret went down, top outer turret went down earlier. It's still Gen G with a lot of control of the map as Weaver's Wall going to come in as Hoya. Remember, yeah, he doesn't have the hop, unfortunately. He's going to have to flash to get over that wall as Deadly Flourish. Not quite enough range there from Ruler. And so Hoya will escape, but Flash is now on cooldown. Henna will deal with this turret, though. Severum Crescendum. Feels like Aphelios always has this when he has a turret to himself. So he's going to be able to rip through that one very, very quickly. And Shelly's just going to plant her skull into the bottom lane outer turret. Sorry, that was Shirley. I always get them confused.
They look, you know, they're twins, so it's kind of
They
rough.
are. We've been hanging out with them for so long, though, you know? We should be able to see the subtle differences.
True.
Yeah. Shockwave is going to pull back Umti. Takes a lot of damage there from the attack dissonance combo. As now Rascal looks for the tactical sweep, gets it onto Delight, who's trying to canter away. 1 versus 3 is Rascal as he goes into the Hextech ultimatum. He's dead though. Yeah, maybe a little bit aggressive as the Gnar is good. Moonlight Vigil is going to miss those. BDD sidestepping beautifully. Clid going to be able to take down the Gnar. And it's a 1-for-1 trade in the end. Some hyphy top laners going down.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm not even sure that they could have gone for a 2v3 and won, but I like that BDD and Rascal are flexing. Of course, you know, they both, or a couple of teleports do come in, so they weren't ever going to win that fight, but overextending was Fred at Breon and actually traded a kill back whilst giving free farm to Ruler down on the bottom side. So you can see 2v3, I don't know, I think Rascal still just gets burst down and probably wouldn't have had a fun time. But the fact that Hoya goes all the way in kind of by himself, you see the 3 teammates in the jungle not able to get over the wall and help. And so, you know, trade one back, and we have, in fact, the Infernal Soul. This is not what Fred at Breon wanted to see.
No, this is bad news bears for them. And normally, I get Cloud Souls all day. So it gave up on me after the first game this time around. So we do have an interesting one. But if you're a Fred at Breon fan, you're not exactly very happy. And maybe that's why the pause came in. It's like, can we have a redo on the RNG? We're going to need a Cloud Soul here.
Yeah, can we just
if that's all right?
make the game?
Oh, do you know what's really important about this situation? Is Life is getting a little bit of assistance here from the referee. We'll have to check exactly what is happening. So Life's screen is frozen. So I'm gonna go with that being a big problem.
Okay.
So worth the pause for that one. Have to see whether we can get this one sorted. As you can see, our referee's on it, trying to get things figured out as soon as possible. So now I think we can move the camera over to the door and see whether the ghost is still there.
That's, you know, I'm glad you brought it back because that's really what's important in this series.
Yeah.
We need to know if the guy is still there. I think he's over at the Fred at Breon house, so
Yeah, he is.
I need to switch the camera.
Maybe he
over
moved.
there. Yeah, is he a
don't know.
teleport ghost, or is he only haunting the Fred at Breon house? That's the question.
I thankfully have my camera up on the screen, so I keep checking to see whether he's at my place as well. But he's not at my place.
Just don't look behind you.
I can guarantee. No, I'm not looking behind me. No, I'm making sure that I look at it in the camera so that if he is there and there is some sort of curse or something like that, I don't make actual eye contact. Thankfully, you know, having a camera is very, very useful for that, for all of these spoopy things, you know?
Here we are, we're in the Fred at Breon house.
Oh, danger.
I can feel the goosebumps already.
Yeah, me too. I'm so anxious, but I'm so excited as well, you know? I just want to see whether he's there.
Yeah, maybe he's a friendly ghost, you know? You never know.
Yeah, true.
It, you know, it could be friendly.
Should we call him Casper?
Maybe. Well, we're not even going to get a chance because we're back in the game.
Oh, no. Okay, the ice cream has been removed from Life's screen, and now we're going to be back into the game. So, as the dust settles, Gen G are a comfortable 4,000 gold in the lead. We've got an Infernal Soul, and that's bad news for Fred at Breon, who will now have to fight tooth and nail over the rest of these dragons. Thankfully, they do have 4 minutes of breathing room, and a composition that team fights much better than their last one. I'm just not sure whether it fights better than Gen G's comp that they have put together for themselves.
No, I don't think so. Not at this point in time. Take a look at BDD's items here. He has Banshee Veil completed on top of the Ludens, and he has a needlessly large rod. I mean, this is so needlessly large. And a tier and a stopwatch. Okay, so like this is like solo queue where that one guy just gets way too fed. Except it happened here in a pro game. So much of their gold is on BDD, but their other lanes aren't hurting for it. You know, it's not like only BDD is doing well, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody else also having a fun time in this one.
Oh, okay, that is a beautiful Deadly Flourish. Rule is going to set up the kill, the flick back, and yeah, the pick potential of this comp is so scary, but Fred at Breon had no right to be that far out. Their jungle actually belongs to Gen G at this point in time, and they will continue pushing forward. I think if it was a kill onto Umpty, they may have just gone straight for the Baron.
Yeah. You know,
but it's only been alive for a minute.
You're wearing your horse's clothes. I guess you feel invincible, but absolutely not. Jin can do some pretty stupid stuff in terms of pick, as we saw there. And what did I say before? If you root, stun, or CC in general, anybody, Taliyah is going to love you. And the follow-up seismic shove, massive burst from the Luden's Taliyah is you can't underestimate that. And Kliz is going to sit here with the ward over the wall. This is also a very fun Taliyah maneuver as he goes in.
Yeah, just not going to sit there. In fact, they're just going to kill Henna. He's just dead, and the horse can't find the way in. Unfortunately, hasn't been doing too many equestrian activities and couldn't quite make it jump over the fence that time around, and also was too late regardless.
Yeah, and
a worrisome time.
You know, Henna just way too far up the lane, right? I mean, he is very far behind with this team. You can't really be up in that position up against a Taliyah or a Nautilus or really anybody at this point. You have to play it safe. And so he's just going to get simply caught out there. Here, you know, a bit of damage comes out, and the second he gets rooted, it's just, you know, a crit to the face, a grenade to the face, seismic shove, everything in the kit. And here, same thing. Henna's so far up the lane, alone. And he just assumes because they have control of their topside jungle that he'll be safe, but that was absolutely not the case, as we saw.
Yep, not enough. And just seeing the pick power of this squad in full effect was a joy to watch there from Gen G, who are looking like they're cruising towards 4-0 as far as game score. Looking like the team to beat so far. They are our Spring Kings, to be honest. They just do very, very well at the start of a season. But can't really be talking about it too early. You know, I like jumping guns, but this may be even too much for me, as we still have yet to see Damwon play. And then we'll be up next in our next match.
Gen G against T1, Gen G against Damwon Kia. These are going to be massive matches, and I think they're going to be a lot of fun. Gen G, it seems like, are definitely not weaker than they were last year. If anything, they've gotten stronger. But again, they need to be put to the test. And so far, a couple of teams haven't really put them to the test, if I'm being honest. So we'll get a look at some of those games in the future, no doubt. But until then, we just get to relish in the fact that, indeed, Gen G are still a very strong team.
Yep, they look good. Oh, the buffering of the hookshot was pretty nice there from Rascal. It's like the ultimate didn't do anything out of the Gnar. As Lava going to try and escape. Does use the stopwatch to avoid the shockwave that would have indeed been his death. As Umpty going to get into the line of fire, but eventually does get out, as Delight not going to be his namesake about that particular bullet to the back of the head. And now Fredit Brion setting up for the defense as best that they can. Hoyer off to the side, but that control ward in the brush is going to help Gen G out a lot. Rascal over there, not going to get double tapped or anything like that.
They're so fast.
Yeah.
Away from that one. Fredit Brion are not scared.
Hoyer? He's supposed to be tanky, guys. He's not. That's going to be a hookshot stun. He does manage to make it into Mega Gnar, but it's not going to keep him alive. Klid's going to join the battle as well, as Delight does get a bit of work done there with his Magnet Storm, but it's not the work that you really want, as Lava flashes the dredge line, but he's still going to get hit by the plethora of CC that this Gen G roster has. Double kill for Rascal. He'll see to Umpty as well, as he gives him the good old thumbs up. There's the King's Own banner as well from Rascal, just to add to it. I love it. Just going back to the good old days, I guess, is what Rascal's saying. And Gen G will take a Baron. I think that was a shockwave onto it as well in celebration there from BDD.
Got a low cooldown, you know, might as well get in there, do some extra damage. But again, I mean, look at this, they're so far forward. Like, Hoya's like, yeah, I'm the tank, I almost got Mega Gnar, let me go in. But no, I mean, BDD is just so massive, and you have, I don't think he's really got any MR at this point in time. He can't just stand there, and he baits his whole team into a fight. Everybody way too far forward on the side of Fredit Brion, and Gen G just, you know, it's like they're at brunch when they didn't eat anything for dinner the last day. It's like they're starving, and they're just shoving food into their mouths at this point. And, you know, it wasn't pretty, but it definitely satisfied Gen G at the end.
That's one of my favorite analogies you've ever come up with, Valdez. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Anything to do with brunch, I'm all about it.
Big brunch fan.
Oh, yeah. My bagel place started doing brunch. Very, very excited.
That is
fantastic.
That is poggers for sure.
Yeah, on the global LCK broadcast talking about a Korean brunch place. It's probably not super relevant to a lot of you guys, but I hope it wasn't completely intolerable, as now, Fred at Brion, they can't really tolerate Gen G moving towards their inhibitor turrets. This game is feeling ever closer to over, if not it being completely over.
You know, 12,000 gold, 26 minutes kind of tells the story.
Yeah.
We don't have to tell that story for you guys. You can take a look at the scoreboard. And
maybe we can keep talking about Casper.
Or brunch. I mean, I was kind of okay with that discussion.
True.
Well, they're just going to take the inhibitor, it looks like. Fred and Brion don't want anything to do with them.
Yeah, that's going to go down. I'm looking forward to hearing about your brunch place a little bit later, but we are just going to talk about the fact that this top inhibitor is going to be falling down first. And Fred and Brion just look like they have no idea what they're going to do in the face of this, and to be perfectly honest, I don't blame them. There isn't really many options that they have. The wall is going to be put up here by Cleared. It's not really going to do anything at all. It's just going to try and cut the Nexus in half. As there's the flash forward, Magnet Storm doing some work as the Gnar is going to be met with multiple stopwatches as Hoya does at least get a kill in the fight, but the flash is forward from Ruler, grabs himself a triple kill, and now the curtains are indeed called. It's a very, very fitting ultimate ability as the ace is going to be completed by Rascal. The Nexus turrets will go down and the Nexus will follow. And Gen G, they start with 2 clean sweeps here in week 1.
Yeah, pretty easy game there for Gen G, 21-6 in terms of kills, and a relatively short game. You know, compared to some of the other games we have seen so far in 2021 Spring. And yeah, a pretty easy one there for Gen G. Not really having any trouble, as some hugging going on here on the side of Fred and Brion. Gotta pick yourself up and try again. Seems like.
Yeah, keep the spirits up. You know, I agree with that. As BDD will get revenge on his former KT teammate in Umpty. And the rest of Gen G just continuing to be dominant. This team's looking very, very strong. I feel like it's only Cleared that's had some questionable plays so far, but at least he's being aggressive.